The smile that hid the storm, inside a teen idol's secret collapse. In the glittering, fluorescent-lit corridors of 1990s Hollywood, where laughter tracks echoed louder than truth, one young star was silently unraveling. To millions, Danielle Fishel was the golden girl, the effortlessly charming Topanga Lawrence from Boy Meets World, a character adored for her intelligence, warmth, and unmistakable glow. Week after week, audiences watched her blossom on screen, believing they were witnessing the rise of a confident young woman who had it all. But behind the camera, the reality was far darker. They never said it. But I knew. Sources close to the production now whisper of a chilling undercurrent that ran through the show's later seasons. While scripts remained playful and lighthearted, the atmosphere backstage told a different story, one of silent judgment, shifting expectations, and an unspoken obsession with appearance. Fishel herself has now broken the silence, revealing a truth that reads less like a confession, and more like a quiet cry that was ignored for years. I knew, she admitted, her words heavy with reflection, even if no one said it directly. My body was a problem. A problem. For a teenage girl navigating fame, those words, spoken or not, cut deeper than any public criticism ever could. The prom night that changed everything. Insiders point to one pivotal moment in 1998, a glamorous prom-themed event tied to the show. On the surface, it was meant to be a celebration. Behind the scenes, however, tensions reportedly reached a breaking point. Wardrobe decisions became battlegrounds. Fishel recalls sensing resistance to her wearing sleeveless outfits, an apparently small detail that carried devastating weight. To viewers, it was just fashion. To her, it was confirmation of a fear she couldn't shake, that she no longer fit the image they wanted. And from that moment on, something shifted. A star WHO no longer wanted to shine. As the show approached its final season, the cracks became impossible to ignore. I didn't want to be there, she revealed. Every day on set felt uncomfortable. Those close to production describe a young actress withdrawing into herself, her once vibrant presence dimmed by an internal battle no one seemed willing, or able, to address. Weight gain, normal and human, became magnified under the harsh lens of Hollywood scrutiny. And with it came a creeping sense of invisibility. Not the kind where you disappear, but the kind where you're seen only for what others think you've lost. I felt like I wasn't attractive anymore, she confessed, and in an industry that thrives on illusion, that feeling can be fatal. When fiction mirrors reality. Then came an episode that, in hindsight, feels almost too revealing. Titled, "She's Having My Baby Back Ribs," it featured Topanga pretending to be pregnant, a storyline played for laughs but rooted in insecurity about her body. At the time, audiences chuckled. Now, it feels eerily personal. Was it coincidence, or a subtle reflection of what was happening behind the scenes? Some insiders suggest the line between script and reality had blurred beyond recognition. The camera as an enemy. For most actors, the camera is a tool, a gateway to connection and storytelling. For Fishel, it became something else entirely. A fear I couldn't shake, she admitted. She describes watching herself on screen and experiencing a strange disconnect, a cognitive dissonance where what she saw didn't align with how she felt. The result was a spiral of doubt that infected every performance. Season 7, once expected to be a triumphant farewell, instead became overshadowed by anxiety. Every scene, every close-up, every moment under the lights, a test she felt she was failing. And slowly, almost imperceptibly, the idea of continuing her acting career began to slip away. The exit no one noticed. To fans, the end of Boy Meets World was bittersweet, a natural conclusion to a beloved series. But for Fishel, it marked something far more profound, the quiet death of a dream she once embraced without hesitation. She didn't make a dramatic exit. There were no headlines, no scandals, just a gradual retreat from the spotlight, as if the industry that built her had also, in some way, pushed her out. The twist no one saw coming, and yet, here's where the story takes a turn no one expected. Because the girl who once felt not enough didn't disappear, she transformed. Years later, with the distance of time and the clarity of hindsight, Fishel has reclaimed her narrative, not as the insecure teenager shaped by Hollywood's harsh gaze, but as a woman who refuses to let those years define her. I wouldn't change anything, she now says. Not the pain, not the doubt, not even the moments that nearly ended it all. Because in confronting those shadows, she found something far more powerful than fame. Acceptance, self-love, and a voice strong enough to finally tell the truth. The real scandal? It wasn't the weight gain, it wasn't the wardrobe choices, it wasn't even the quiet tension behind the scenes. The real scandal is how easily it was all ignored, how a generation watched a smiling face on their screens, never realizing the storm raging just out of frame. And how close the world came to losing her entirely.